I want to talk to you now about Google. I think you all know what Google is. As a small business, it's really important to work out how you can harness the power of Google. And I want to talk in this video a little bit about how you can use Google for your business, some simple ways in which you can use Google for your business to drive traffic and customers to your website. Google's job is to go through and what they might call spider every piece of content on your website and index it in such a way that it's relevant to the customer. So it actually sends a little robot through and it spiders in through your site and it picks up all the content on your site, it indexes that, and then it presents it to the customers in a fashion that they can understand. That's how it works in simple terms. It's essentially a mathematical algorithm, and it's got a bunch of mathematical rules that it applies to work out which results appear higher or lower in the system. Around about, in broad terms, 70% of people using the internet and online use search engines, and about 90% of those use Google in broad terms. So if you get your Google game right, if you get your Google game on, you're pretty close to having some success online. The major benefit of Google is that when it indexes the content, it's highly measurable, and you can basically get reports through Google Analytics on it. You can basically see what's going on your site, and so it's a highly measurable mechanism for your business. And if you can set your content up the right way from the point of view of its relevance to the customer, and you can rank your site in the right way from the point of view of its popularity online, then you can influence Google and you can appear higher in the results. What I'm going to talk to you about now is, I suppose, five tips, 5 areas within Google. I mean, I could talk to you all day. This is the 3-minute video. I could talk to you all day about Google. But here's 5 things that I think, if you got these right or you focus on these things, that you're going to be in a really good position on Google for your business. The first one is search engine marketing. And if you look at the diagram on the screen now, you'll see the area in green which shows where the search engine marketing part of a Google result. It's the top section and the right-hand side section of the Google result when you do a Google search. What you can actually do with that area is you can place an ad. So no matter how bad your site is, no matter how small your site is, you can actually place an ad for your product or services within Google AdWords, place that ad, bid for that ad, and put an ad on Google. And you could literally learn to do that in about 20 minutes. So you just go to Google, go to the AdWords section of Google, set up an account, away you go. It's a very complicated game, Google AdWords, if you want to do it properly. And some of our clients spend between $20,000 and $50,000 a month on Google advertising. So, with thousands of keywords and hundreds of ads. So, there's a sort of a beginner's guide. You could spend, $10 a day on Google and away you go. Or you could spend, as I said, 50 grand a month or more placing your goods or services into that network. But it's really well worth considering doing some targeted advertising within Google AdWords. The second option, and you can see the diagram here, I'm talking about what's called search engine optimization. This is this middle section, this blue section, where by getting the information architecture of your site correct and the content on your site I suppose set up in the right way, Google will naturally spider your page and throw your results up there without paying for them. So with search engine marketing or Google AdWords, you need to pay. With search engine optimization, it's about getting your site indexed without paying. But the only way you can do that is if you've got relevant content and your site's got a good ranking, and there's a whole art to that process. What I recommend you do is imagine you're one of your customers and have a think about the keywords that they are using to find your goods and services, and just brainstorm. Brainstorm with everyone in your office, brainstorm with all your friends. What words or sets of words would you use to search for our goods and services on Google? And write those all down and come up with a list of 20. Once you've done that, search those words on Google and find out the results that pop up. And if your company doesn't appear, then you're not search engine optimized. So then you have to say, okay, well, how could I appear here? Now, depending on how niche your goods or services are, will depend on the level of competition for that position. If you're selling home loans or travel services, there's a lot of competition for that, and there's got to be a lot of people spending a lot of money to take first page position on Google. So you're going to struggle to get first page position. But if you're selling some detailed widget, nut or a bolt, or some sort of shelving system, or some really unique service for boat tours in Byron Bay, it's a lot different because you can chase much more specific traffic, which there may be less competition for, so it might be easier to take a position. So you've got to have a think about how you're going to do that. So identify the keywords that your customers use, build pages around those keywords for SEO. The third option is geography. I'm sure some of you out there have got iPhones, and if you do a search on Google on your iPhone, the result that actually pops up on your Google interface is actually the map result, the Google map result. What you need to have a look at doing is get your business or businesses, if you've got multiple sites, indexed within the mapping system. And that's a really important outcome. So what you want to do there is make sure that your site's listed on Google Maps. So you go into Google Maps, you list your site, put lots of information in there, take a position on Google Maps so that local people are searching for your goods or services. You've got a listing. Fourth, use Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a reporting and measurement tool that you can basically integrate into your website. Put that into your website, embed that code into your website, and then look at your Google Analytics results at least monthly to find out what your customers are doing, what pages they're looking at, what keywords they're using, what your bounce rates are. There's a whole science in Google Analytics and understanding it, but start to understand your customer behavior on your website. Look at try and find out where they're entering your site, what they're looking at, how they're behaving, where they're going, because then you can start to optimize your site to improve it, to deliver a better outcome for those customers. The last point is video. As you might be aware, Google owns YouTube, and basically YouTube and video is pretty much being integrated into the Google search engine. So if you can get good video content up on the internet, either by listing it on your own website or on YouTube or on a variety of other video style channels, you can actually get customers coming to your website using video as the tool. So as an example, where this is a video now, you're potentially looking at this on the internet. You might have found this on the internet by doing a search on Google, or how to use Google for business. You might have found this video, away you go. You can do the same thing for your products or services for your small business. So what I'm going to suggest you do is get a handy cam. They cost under $1,000 at a good electronics retailer. Shoot some videos, put them up online, put them up on your site, put them up on YouTube that talk about your goods, your services, customer testimonials, product reviews, all that sort of stuff. Fantastic stuff. Put that out there, index it into the system, into Google, and load it up on YouTube, and that should drive some traffic to your site. So that's 5 different ways in which your business can use Google. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to presenting to you in the other videos in the series. Cheers.